garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. She still hears the voice of someone she knew, who left when the first frost arrived. There on this green porch they'd watch through the night. The thunder and rain finally came. There with the rumble and flashes of light, hear that old tin roof sing. There where the garden spider weaves the intricate work of her life. There where the morning dove used to sing that song at the first sign of light. Maybe she'll stay for a couple of days, sort out what's new and what's used, toss out the toothbrushes, pack up the bags. She's really not sure what to do. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. With tears in her eyes, she watched the geese fly and whispered the words goodbye, and whispered the words goodbye. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. She still hears the voice of someone she knew, who left when the first frost arrived. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. She still hears the voice of someone she knew, who left when the first frost arrived. There on this green porch they'd watch through the night. The thunder and rain finally came. There with the rumble and flashes of light, hear that old tin roof sing. There where the garden spider weaves the intricate work of her life. There where the morning dove used to sing that song at the first sign of light. Maybe she'll stay for a couple of days, sort out what's new and what's used. Toss out the toothbrushes, pack up the bags. She's really not sure what to do. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. With tears in her eyes, she watched the geese fly and whispered the words goodbye. And whispered the words goodbye. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. She still hears the voice of someone she knew, who left when the first frost arrived. She stood where her garden used to be, remembering summers gone by. She still hears the voice of someone she knew, who left when the first frost arrived. There on the screen porch they'd watch through the night. The thunder and rain finally came. There with the rumble and flashes of light, hear that old tin roof sing. There where the garden spider weaves the intricate work of her life. There where the morning dove used to sing that song at the first sign of light. Maybe she'll stay for a couple of days, sort out what's new and what's used. Toss out the toothbrushes, pack up the bags. She's really not sure what to do.
Morning. Thank you for indulging me this morning in the ringing of the concho. The explanation for that is in your order of service. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. So my name is Melody Smith. On behalf of the worship committee, we want to welcome everyone, all your beautiful faces here this morning on Sunday, July 19th. Can you believe July is almost, it's kind of flying by, isn't it? Feels like it to me. Yes. And so as you gather and settle in, I'm going to turn it over to Richard for the prelude.
Morning, everybody. Your music director, Anna, which you'll hear more about later, was going to play a piece by Bach, but it was a different piece than I'm going to play because I can't play pieces as sophisticated as she does. But I'm going to do a piece called Arioso. It comes from Bach's Cantata number 156, which the title of it translates from a German title, which I will not attempt to pronounce, but the English translation is, I stand with one foot in the grave. And it relates well to the title of today's sermon, Impermanence.
Thank you, Richard. I have a couple of announcements that I'm going to do now rather than at the end of the service so that we can float out of the sanctuary on Jessica's closing words. First, I want to let you know that Anna, Dr. Anna Hamilton and her son Lyndon are just fine, but they were involved in a car accident on their way home from vacation yesterday. Once again, they're fine, the baby is fine, no one was hurt in the other car either, but the cars are not in working order. Anna said that hers looked like it was totaled. So we're sending her good wishes. They're on their way home today. And so can we have just a really great appreciation for Richard, who stepped in at the very last minute to take care of our music today. That's not an easy thing to do, and so we're very appreciative of that. Second announcement, Mary Martin's memorial gathering is scheduled for Thursday, July 30th at 12 o'clock to 1:30. I know that's kind of an odd time, but her family is coming in from out of state. They have lawyers and probate to deal with, and this church's very busy schedule. And so that is why the memorial gathering is set for Thursday the 30th at noon. If you'd like to help, because it's at the noon hour, we're doing finger sandwiches, vegetable plates, fruit plates, just finger food. If you'd like to help with that, you're more than, we'd appreciate that very much. If you have any questions, you can always ask the always organized Linda McLeod. She knows everything that's happening. Or you can talk to me and I'll figure it out. Right. Thank you all. We're so glad that everyone is here this morning. And again, on behalf of the worship committee, we're so grateful to have all these beautiful faces in the sanctuary today. Reverend Stephen Robinson is our pastor. However, he's playing hooky this month in July, and we are grateful to have guest speakers who are here this month. Today, we have the small but mighty Dr. Jessica Kross in the house this morning. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Many of you know Jessica on a personal level. She has been a longtime member of UUCC. She was a history professor at USC for some 33 years. She joined UUCC in 1975 and of course has done a great deal of work on boards and committees for the church. In 1984, she began her Buddhist journey and has done several silent retreats that she's sat in, and she was a lay teacher in the Insight community of Columbia Sangha for many years, and now she still participates with them through Zoom. So we're just so grateful to have Jessica this morning. We're looking forward to what she has to tell us. So remember, y'all, we stream this service, so if you're camera shy, sit in the back or in the side of the sanctuary. Also, if you have children in the service today and you'd like to have some time for them to play, there's a designated area over here against the wall that kids can bring toys from the bookshelf in the social hall to play with. And so feel free to do that anytime. Today, the elementary and middle school kids will be leaving for their classrooms after the story for all ages. So we all need to stay connected as much as we'd like to disconnect these days, I'm sure, if you feel like me, but we need to stay connected with the happenings in the church. And so you can keep your eye on all kinds of our reoccurring information and events that are included in the calendar and the order of service. Do y'all know that you can download the UUCC calendar onto your calendar? Yes, you can do that. If you don't know how to do that, talk to somebody who's tech savvy. But our special events are also always upcoming, and so we'll usually do an announcement about what's going on in the service. Make sure that if you want more information about what's going on, the administrator has your email address so that she can send out the weekly email e-blast that we call it, of the calendar of events and what's going on. Okay. We're delighted to welcome any guests that are in the house today. Today, my friend Bill Dolly is going to bring the microphone around. If you are new to our sanctuary and would like to introduce yourselves, we would love to hear from you. If you'd give us your name and where you're from, that would be terrific. If you're here with a guest, that's fine. You can stand up and introduce the person that is here with you. We're looking forward to hearing from everyone.
I would love to introduce Tamara Sanchez from El Canto, Spain, and we're going to root for you know who today. Say hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Tamara. Thank you. Who else? Is there anyone else or someone back here? Oh, we'll get to you. We won't forget you.
Hi, I'd love to introduce my new friend Maddie here.
Hi, I am from Midlothian, Virginia, actually. I am a university student at South Carolina.
Great. Maddie, is that right, Maddie? All right. Welcome, Maddie. We're glad to have you.
Hi, I'm Brennan Jennings. This is Shelby and Sylvia. We are actually from California. We go to UU Summit in Santee, California, and so we're on vacation here and thought we'd try it out.
Terrific. Welcome, Brendan and Shelby. That's terrific. There's a lady right here, Bill.
I'm sorry?
No, right here.
Oh, excuse me. Michelle.
Hi, I guess I need to stand up.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good morning.
everyone. My name is Sandra Davis, and I'm from one of your local civic groups in Columbia, Indivisible, Columbia, South Carolina, District 2. And I'm here this morning to fellowship and worship with everyone in commemoration of John Robert Lewis. We're commemorating his legacy for equality, justice, and voting rights, and so many of our freedoms. So this is why I'm here, but is to fellowship and worship with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. So glad to have you. Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. You're welcome. Hi, everybody. I'm Ben, and to my right is Allison and Maya. We moved to Irma about a week ago. And we're here because we came to one of the Zoom services. It was with the lady talking about the parrot rescue. And we thought, could there possibly be a cooler church and a nicer group of people? We were like crying with how beautiful it was, so we wanted to come in person.
Fantastic.
And we just moved down from Wisconsin, so we're really enjoying the warmer weather.
Nice meeting you. Welcome.
Welcome, y'all. Thank you, everyone. We are so glad to have you. As Mark likes to say, and I love to, is there another person? Oh, we missed someone. We did, we missed somebody in the back, I'm sorry.
Sorry to make you run back here again, boss. I run around. I get a little nervous. Good morning, everybody. My name's Hayden. I'm from right here in Columbia. Just like this gentleman up here, my fiance Gracie, we watched the parrot sermon on Zoom, and I was like, "That's awesome." And she was like, "That's awesome. We gotta go." And I believe she came here 2 Sundays ago. Sometimes she came here before. She was like, "Baby, you gotta come check this out. This is your this is your people here." So I'm really excited to be here.
Fantastic. Hayden and Gracie, thank you for being here. All right, have we missed anyone else? No one else? Wonderful. That's fantastic. What a great day for visitors. We're so glad to have each and every one of you. As I was saying before, Mark Drews always says, of all the other places you could be, you're here with us. And I think that's so terrific, and it's really wonderful to have it, each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. If you would like more information, there are visitor cards that are in the seat pockets in front of you. You can put that in the collection baskets as they go around today, and then we can get you more information. Okay, that is just information for you. It is not for us to gather information on you, okay? All right. Our board members also wear green name tags so that if you have any questions while you're here today, you're more than welcome to visit with them as well. Today's flowers are donated by Ms. Jenny Verne in commemoration of her beloved husband Jim's birthday. And we all remember what a sweet man Jim was, and we miss him as well. And we thank Jenny for these lovely flowers that we have today. Maura Farley is the flower team committee chair, and if you are interested in helping with flowers, please see Maura about that. She would love to have your help. Now, here we are. Let's get down to it, shall we? Let's be sure that our devices are silenced. Let's drop our shoulders. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And if you will please join me in the congregational covenant, excuse me. If you'd please stand. Yes, thank you. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, seek knowledge and freedom, and serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. When I first started coming, I wondered why they say this every single service, but Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. And that is important to say because we are the only church in this city that can say that, all right? Our community is founded on deeds, not creeds. We are a covenantal religion, meaning we don't have to believe the same to treat each other the same. And we endeavor to be that kind of person with each and every person by treating each other with the same respect, equity, compassion, and dignity, no matter who you are or where you come from. We place love at the center of our values, and we embrace and welcome all people into our community. And at this time, if Reverend Dr. Neil Jones would come forward, he is going to be our chalice lighter. As many of you know, Reverend Dr. Jones was the pastor here at UUCC, and we're grateful that he has come back to be a member of our community again. And he is a strong and wonderful presence in our community and is is representing the worship committee today by lighting the chalice. Thank you, Dr. Jones. Spirit of light and life, come on to us. And now, the opening hymn.
Our opening hymn, let me tell you a bit about it before you stand up here. It's called Every Night and Every Morn. It's number 17 in your gray book. The lyrics were adapted from a William Blake poem that reflects the delicate balance of the human experience, exploring how joy and adversity are woven together into the tapestry of life. Please stand. Now this hymn is not as familiar as some others are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play just the melody of it through first, but then I want some robust singing on the three. Okay, my was, you want to do, no, I won't do that again. Try it. Here we go. Every night and every morn. Thank you. You may be seated.
This is the time for the story for all ages. So if all ages, any age, plus age, minus age. Very good. We have one brave ager. 2, 3. We're gonna make this. Sit down because I'm old. Thank you. Thank you. So, as the story goes, there's an old teacher, maybe me, I'm an old teacher. And this teacher is sought far and wide for their wisdom. And someone comes and says, I am here to learn something. You guys here to learn something? You are? You're not just here to play? I'd be here to play. I'm not sure I'd be here to learn something. And what the teacher does is he holds up a crystal glass, but I am gonna hold up a mug. And you're gonna hold up something else. Yes. You wanna put that in here? No, okay, you don't have to do that. Horsey's stuck. Oh, I do. Okay. So the old teacher said, this is my crystal glass, and I am very fond of this glass. I have used it for a very long time. But long ago, I told myself that this glass is already broken. And therefore, I can appreciate this glass for what it is. And what I thought I'd do is just point out on this cup that there are little chips and some of the paint is off, and at some point, it too will be broken. But right now, it's not. And I can enjoy it. And as the teacher enjoyed the cup, and as somebody is enjoying playing with lots of toys, in the here and now, this is what we have. Enjoy. Thank you.
Now we have, it's printed in your bulletin. Let's singing your children out. Learn your lessons well, my children. Be your truth in the wide unknown. Love each other, work together, search for wisdom and happiness.
Okay, maybe our opening words are my, me, mine. That is my cup. Our opening words this morning are from the book of Ecclesiastes, which might seem an odd choice for a Buddhist talk. Whoever wrote Ecclesiastes lived somewhere between 450 and 200 BCE, which is 100 to 300 years after the Buddha. Timelines are fuzzy for all of this stuff, you know. As an historian, I understand timelines are fuzzy. In Ecclesiastes, the term that has been translated as vanity, or in the Jewish Bible, which is where I'm going to take the reading from, futility, has another set of meanings in Hebrew. The word itself is hevel, and it means vapor, or insubstantial, or transient, the wind in the grain, or, you ready? Impermanent. So, let me make sure that I'm reading the right thing here. 13. I found that wisdom is superior to folly, as light is superior to darkness. A wise man has his eyes in his head, whereas a fool walks in darkness. But I also realized that the same fate awaits them both. So I reflected. The fate of the fool is also destined for me. To what advantage, then, have I been wise? And I came to the conclusion that that too was impermanent. Because the wise man, just like the fool, is not remembered forever. For as the succeeding days roll by, both are forgotten. Alas, the wise man dies, just like the fool.
Beautiful. If you have a concern or a joy that you would like to share with us, please come forward. We have this time where in our service where people light candles that we share with one another. If you're a person who joins us virtually or is not in service, you can always send your joys or concerns to be read from the pulpit. Those concerns or joys need to be into the administrator by noon on Friday. So again, we'd like to remind you that the Caring Committee is a very active committee, and they wear yellow name tags, so if you ever need anything, please reach out to those folks. They are there because they want to assist people who have needs in our community. So if you'd like to bring a candle, come forward and briefly share your joy and concern.
Now then, if I don't catch a plane on Thursday in 4 days, your government may stop me coming to England to my beloved Ginny. We've been together for 18 years, going backwards and forwards, but because of the regulations, I have to go back in 4 days' time, next Thursday on a plane, or they may stop me ever seeing her again. That is my concern. Also, she'll be coming to this church, so I hope that some of you people will keep an eye on her when I'm not here. Thank you.
On behalf of my family, I wanted to share the loss of our dog Maverick 2 weeks ago. He was a big part of our family, and we'll miss him a lot.
So get comfortable. This is one of those long ones. As most of you know, I'm Jim Kimbler, and I'm chairman of the Finance Committee, chairman of the Fundraising Committee, a member of the Caring Committee, board liaison to the Membership Committee, and on the Board of Trustees. The Fundraising Committee makes this gift to the church. This beautiful thing was not purchased in our estate sale. This beautiful drum was not purchased in our estate sale over the last 2 days, so I felt like it was destined to be here. We collected a total of about $2,700 in the estate sale, reducing the pressure on pledges a little bit, I hope. However, the concern is that we needed many, many more volunteers. A big thank you to the informal team that always shows up despite their own health issues and their own other volunteer commitments. We understand people with jobs can't be as involved as some of us can, but we appreciate everyone. Even though this was my last fundraiser as chairman of the committee, I'm going to be happy to mentor whoever the next chairman will be. I'd also like to point out that the average age of our volunteers
was around 75, and I'm well above that. We had one person under 50, not to be named, but who worked tirelessly. We need younger, committed volunteers who can learn from us and take this skill so that it continues to be an active part of the UUCC. When the fundraising committee was reactivated 2 years ago, it was because we had a revenue shortfall. And we knew that there are two ways to fix that: cut programs or raise revenue. And so we selected to raise revenue. My heartfelt thanks to everyone that made the estate sale possible, including those of us on the tiny team, Melody, that moved everything out of Mary Martin's apartment. But the work isn't over yet. Even though the estate sale ended yesterday, today we go in and pack up everything in boxes and whatever. And then we always donate, or we always have donated, the things that are left over to Stepping Stones Ministry. Their ministry is recovery, and they make good use of it. They have a store on Two Notch Road, so they're going to be inheriting some really nice big pieces of furniture tomorrow, and lots of china. Thank you.
I would like to share a joy and a partial concern. My joy is that I got the opportunity to volunteer at the mountain for a week. And it was just eye-opening, very loving, supportive place to be, as most of y'all know. The concern was that it gave me a lot of time to think about where am I at in my life and where would I like to see myself. So I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity, and also renewing me that, I'll piggyback, that I need to be more, and I would like to be more active in the UU community. Thank you.
Good morning. This candle is intended for Kevin McKinney, who apparently is hungover from the pilgrimage. I understand they got back from Europe last night, so he's not here this morning. The candle is to thank Kevin for coming up with this brilliant idea of having us each write a check equal to the number of years of our life on our birthdays to support our church endowment. The flowers up there are for Jim, but it's my birthday too. So there's my check, folks, for $80.
Got the hook, like at the Oscars. Hi, everyone. I don't have a candle. This is kind of impromptu. I was supposed to make an announcement about this, but there's a planning meeting today for the Balenciaga Fashion and Dog Show at 2 p.m. this afternoon here, if anybody's interested in helping plan it. My name is Blake Carlton, by the way, and I put on a fashion and dog show each year. This year, it'll be held here at the church on October 10th. It's a Saturday. It'll be in the afternoon. I hope all of you will come to it, either as attendees or potentially as models. And my joy is that some of you did submit your information to be considered as models, so I'll be getting back to you about that later. The show, for those of you who don't know, it's a fashion show with professional models from the Columbia area and many of you wearing designer clothing from local designers, coming down the runway and walking dogs from the shelter with you down the runway. And the dogs come from the shelter, and it's an attempt to get them adopted. We welcome your donations, and if the young lady who lost her dog, unfortunately, recently, is healed by then. We hope you adopt a dog in October. And if you have any other questions, feel free to talk to me after the service.
We light this last candle. We know that there are joys and concerns out there that have not been expressed, and so we light this candle in honor of those. So if the ushers would get ready with the offertory baskets, I will turn it over to Richard for the offertory music. If you would please, if the ushers would please come forward and get ready to receive the offering this morning, please.
Offertory this morning, I'm going to do another piece by Bach as the ushers come forward. The minuet in G was long attributed to Johann Sebastian Bach, but it was later confirmed that it was actually composed by another man who was his contemporary named Christian Petzold. Probably more to that story, but it's a familiar tune that is subject to my own arrangement, so I hope that Bach and Petzold don't mind.
We appreciate all of your generosity and support for our church and the many programs that we have. We appreciate this. Thank you. And now, I'd like to introduce, once again, Dr. Jessica Kross.
Thank you. It's always an honor and a privilege to be here. And of course, I understand that without you being there, I wouldn't be here. So, many thanks. And to the worship committee, to Richard, to Melody, to all of those who made this happen. I've been on the worship committee. I chaired the worship committee a number of times, and I know that it can be, let's say, a challenging job. I want to talk about impermanence. A while back, I was chatting with a senior Buddhist teacher who asked what I considered most important in my understanding of Buddhism. I said impermanence. Impermanence is one of the three conditions of existence, the other two being dissatisfaction and most of us are aware of dissatisfaction. It's sometimes translated as suffering, but I think that's too narrow a definition. Many of us go through life with this sort of little burbling background that says things aren't quite right. I don't like it. I want it to be different. Why didn't I get the fill in the blank? The other of the three conditions of existence is much harder to wrap one's mind around. It's not self, but all it means is that we are always in process. We are in process physically, we are in process mentally, we are in process emotionally. There's an old saying that you can't step in the same river twice. And perhaps that gets at some of that. We're going to do a little experiment in a few moments, and maybe you'll see this even more clearly. We can understand impermanence on both an abstract and an experiential level. We all know that nothing lasts forever. We've all experienced loss of a loved one, whether two-footed or four-footed. My first understanding of this was when I was 6 or 7 years old, I guess, and our dog Boots got hit by the school bus. I lived in the country. We've all had some prized possession wear out or break or disappear. I collect pottery, and I use it in my everyday life. It gets chipped, it gets dropped, it gets hit on the side of the granite countertop. Sometimes there is an unseen flaw which reveals itself in the cooking, when the plate or casserole suddenly breaks. I had a quiche I was about to serve to friends come out of the oven in 2 pieces as the pie plate split in half. Relationships end one way or another. Over the course of my life, I have loved, or perhaps unreasonably desired. Where is the difference? Some number of people. 3 have since died. Sometime in my early 30s, I came to terms with my parents. I don't know how many of you have been fortunate enough to do that. I was no longer angry with them. But as I sat in the airport in Honolulu, waiting to fly back here from a week with them at their expense, I realized how much I loved them and how sorry I was to be leaving them, even though, of course, since I have really left them. And they left me. All is in flux. As I sat at my computer writing this, looking out the window at bird feeders, and I live on a lake, female cardinal had just landed on the seed feeder. She's joined by a Carolina wren. Anybody who watches birds here know these are very common birds in South Carolina. The cardinal flew off, the wren migrated to the suet feeder, kingfisher tried to catch something in the lake, a breeze moved the wind chimes, they sound in response. The leaves show different colors even now, as it is too hot and too dry. The wind moves them. I have no control over any of this, and each moment is different. The Thai forest monk Ajahn Chah likened the calm mind to a clear forest pool. If you wait and look, all sorts of animals come by, and then, of course, leave. We all know people whose reaction to impermanence is fear and bitterness. They see these changes and our inevitable march toward death as depressing or even incapacitating. Why bother to do anything if it all ends anyway? Why make the effort? And it takes effort to connect with anybody. We also know people who deny much of this. They refuse to believe there is much they cannot change. We call them Pollyannas, after the 1913 children's book by Eleanor H. Porter. Or we might remember Dr. Pangloss from Voltaire's Candide, for whom all is always for the best. Religions often promise that this world is not the only one, or even the best one, but that after life here, there is something else. If we are here and now, and that here and now is always changing, how can we best live our lives? How do we end our own greed, our own hatred, our own ignorance? Those causes and products of dissatisfaction. This is from the Udana Sutta. The Buddha said, "You should train yourself thus. In reference to the seen, there will only be the seen. In reference to the heard, only the heard. In reference to the sensed, only the sensed. In reference to the cognized, only the cognized. That is how you should train yourself. When for you there will be only the seen in reference to the seen, only the heard in reference to the heard, only the sensed in reference to the sensed, only the cognized in reference to the cognized." So I thought we might experiment and take a look at two of these. In what is heard, there is only the heard. It sounds really easy to just hear something, and what I'd like us to do is try that. I'm going to set a 1-minute timer, and I want you to listen. Siri, set a 1-minute timer, please. So, what happened? Any brave soul out there want to bear their sense of hearing? The air conditioner? Someone coughed? Yes, a baby's voice. Somebody's phone. How many of you realize that a whole lot else was going on? You were not only hearing things, you might have been seeing things, you might have been thinking things, your mind might have wandered. It's very hard to just hear what there is to hear. I'm going to make it even harder. We're going to do this again. And again, that we're going to do is thinking. So tell yourself to think something. You've got 1 minute. A minute can seem like a very short period of time, and a minute can seem like forever. And it's just a minute. So, were you able to keep your mind on one thought? Nope. Somebody did. Okay, good. It's really hard to do. And the reason it's hard to do is, following up on Richard's wonderful sermon last week, the Buddhist phrase is, the mind has a mind of its own. We don't control it. We don't understand it. We do things we never thought we would do. And we don't do the things we think we should do. And I don't know about you, but I can recall any number of times when I said, you don't need to do this, you don't really want to do this, you shouldn't do this, it's not the right thing to do, and bam, here it is. So my experience of the 1-minute thought experiment is that most of the times things get tangled. Sound brings thought, and thought brings some judgment. And all of it arises and passes, whether I want it to or not. So how do I live well knowing this? What it is really difficult to do most of the time is just the doing. Yet at times I can do that, and the experience, not the theory, is really different. There is a calmness and a clearness about it. There is an acceptance for me of whatever is going on. Is that how I live my whole life? No. But it is how I can come back to myself and just be there, seeing what really is, and hearing and thinking, and knowing I am hearing and thinking. And the rest of it is just sort of commentary. There's this constant background babble. And if we can recognize it for what it is, maybe we don't have to identify so much with it and get tangled up in it. I remember at a retreat years ago, knowing that impermanence was a truth and a key. Just as the 2-footeds and 4-footeds who died are not with me anymore, just so that the breath I am taking in is in process. The sight I am seeing is in process. The thought and the emotion are in process. I feel for the person who just lost their dog. 2 weeks ago, I lost a cat. But I have another one. And in the 60 years or so that I have been a more or less adult, I'm not sure I'm an adult yet, but anyway, I've had many, many cats. And so now there is one cat, and maybe soon there'll be another cat, who knows. I pet my cat, and I try to just feel the fur and hear the purr and accept whatever emotion comes up. Peace, gratitude, some impatience for all the cat hair he sheds, sorrow that he will not live forever. Accepting impermanence means understanding that grasping is actually impossible. You get it today, and it's gone tomorrow. It might not even take that long. Accepting impermanence also brings the understanding that hatred must be fed to maintain itself. And we can choose not to do that. Accepting impermanence dispels delusion, especially the false sense that anything or anyone is responsible for the mindsets and thoughts and emotions which my mind presents. It is the ever-changing mind that does that. Even the strongest emotion will dissipate in time unless enormous amounts of energy are expended in keeping it alive. Many things are out of our hands, but in the end, we should look for wisdom where it might be found and live our lives with as much joy as we can muster. If in the end all is dust, still we are sitting here now, and we have lives to lead. All might be impermanent, but it is not necessarily futile. The Buddha understands that life can be different, it can be difficult, and that we can act. This weekend, there is a nationwide commemoration of John Robert Lewis, the great civil rights activist. We as a congregation join others in remembering him. John Lewis was part of the March on Selma and was badly beaten by the police who tried to stop it. He was a leader in Congress for civil rights and voting rights. Some of what he and others achieved is now under attack. We were moving forward, and now that progress seems to be, if not halted, stymied. But impermanence is the law of the universe. The Buddha teaches us to do our best and not be wedded to outcomes. Mindfulness and the bare intention it encourages help us settle down, and in that settling, we see into the truth of things. The first of these is that all things are transient, and in this truth is the freedom to see what is really there, so we can act appropriately, compassionately, and usefully for ourselves and for others. I close this talk with the poem Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley, 1818. Many of you know it. Some of you might have memorized it. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the stand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that a sculptor well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away."
Wasn't me. The words of the closing hymn are attributed to the Buddha, and the melody of it dates from before the Reformation. Closing hymn number 184, Be Ye Lamps Upon Yourselves, please stand. This is also one that is not terribly familiar, but let me play it through. It's a short one, and we will sing it through twice. Be ye lamps. Be ye lamps upon yourselves. Okay. The 5 recollections.
I am of the nature to grow old. I cannot escape old age. I am of the nature to grow ill. I cannot escape sickness. I am of the nature to die. I cannot escape death. I will be separated from everything and everyone I hold dear. My only true possession is my actions. Rest in peace, John Lewis.
Please join me in singing the congregational benediction. Words are found in your order of service.
Once again, thank you all for being here. A special thanks to Richard McLeod, who stood in quickly today, and for the wonderful words from Dr. Jessica Kross. I'm eternally grateful for that. And just remember, each one of you make a difference. If just one of you was gone, this whole room would be different. The person you sat next to wouldn't have talked to you. They might not have someone to talk to this morning. So we all make a difference out there, even if it's impermanent. Please be sure to stay and have some refreshments with us this morning as well. And again, have a wonderful week. Thank you.